Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stories with Steve. Today I want to talk about stories themselves. We live in a world where stories are all around us. If you look at social media, Instagram, Facebook, everybody's posting to their stories. Everybody's adding to their stories. Stories are an awesome way to communicate, to teach, to share your feelings, your thoughts. It's just an awesome way to communicate, and not only is it a great way to communicate from the storyteller standpoint, but people like to listen to stories. People love listening to other people's stories and the things that they've gone through because it's very educational. It draws us in. You can have intellectual stories. You can have emotional stories. The stories are all encompassing. They're awesome, and uh, we all have a story to tell. Now, whether or not we tell that story is totally up to us. The platform in which we use to tell that story is totally up to us. The basis behind that story we control. So it's important when telling a story to know the purpose of why we're telling that story and what we hope to accomplish by telling that story. So today, it's really been impressed upon me to talk about everyone telling their story to people that they don't know. People that, whether that's on social media, whether that's in person, however, whatever that medium is that we tell our stories, we need to tell our stories because we all have stories to tell. And the story in particular that I'm talking about is we need to tell the story of what the Lord has done in our lives, how He has blessed us. And the reason I feel that that's important, the reason that as Christians, as people who believe in God, whether you're a Christian or not, if you believe that there's a God, it's important to tell other people the blessings that we have received in our life from our Father in heaven. And why is that important? Well, aside from the fact that we live in tumultuous times, we live in it's crazy right now, very uncertain times, a lot of crazy stuff going on. You can argue, just go through Facebook, you can go through all these social media platforms, you can look at the news, the radio, you can talk to people. We are polarized right now with a lot of political and social issues that have pulled us apart. And there's a lot of arguing. You can argue both sides of the aisle. You can argue both sides of what lives matter and which ones don't, and all that crazy stuff that's out there. You can argue 5 different ways from Sunday, right? And people do. People argue their points, they argue their beliefs, their opinions, all crazy kinds of crazy stuff that take place. And it causes dissension and contention amongst us. But what won't, guys? See, somebody can't argue with you when you tell them what the Lord has done in your life. They cannot argue with you when you tell them how you feel about the Lord and the blessings that you've received. They can't argue with you when you share your testimony with them about those things because it's your experience. And whether they know it or not, you sharing those experiences, you sharing your testimony, you sharing those blessings that you've received with them, they will benefit from that. They will be touched. They will be blessed because we shared that with them. And right now, what better way I can't think of a better way that to start healing where we're at as a country right now than for us to go out and to share our testimonies with our friends, with our families, with our coworkers, with whoever it is, because that's a storytelling opportunity that won't create contention. There won't be any argument. Just share your testimony. Share how the Lord has blessed your life with people. And that will begin to soften our hearts. That will begin to start to heal and to create an environment of peace and of love. Because there's no arguing there, guys. You can't argue with me when I tell you how the Lord has blessed my life because that's my experience. But I do know that when we do that, it not only blesses their life, but it also blesses ours. And what a great way to create new friendships, to go out and to do something good. If you can't go out and do physical service for people, if you can't go out and do things because of what's going on with this COVID-19 thing that we're dealing with, there's a lot of different ways that you can share your story with people and your testimony. And I encourage us all to do that. Thanks, guys. Look forward to the next message coming out in a couple of days. Thanks for tuning in. If you like these messages, if you like these stories, please share them so that we can get more people following and more people involved and more people sharing the lessons and the stories that we share, and hopefully they make a difference in people's lives. So thanks, guys. See you in a couple days.